We're
What's
live,
up,
man.
guys? What's going
We
on?
got
Yeah, here we go. We are rolling. Lights, camera, action, ready to go. Another golf preview after a 1 week hiatus due to life stuff happening. We're back for who could forget the John Deere Classic this week. We weren't going to miss this one. Certainly not. So, yeah, we are back ready to go. What's going on?
yeah, we weren't going to miss this lovely field, this lovely course. But here's the deal. As we say that, maybe tongue in cheek, I think there's an element of fun and excitement when the field's a little watered down and you don't have Scotty and Rory hogging all the money at the top, and you kind of have an anybody can win week like we saw last week. It was exciting. 3-man playoff. Didn't watch too much, like you said, life stuff. Show the picture. Let's just get the graphic over with. Put up the screen. All right.
Let's see.
My dog was not feeling well, and we took him to my uncle, who is a vet, and found he had bladder stones. And this was all on Wednesday of last week. And I was like, Zach, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be at home. I'll have to do it from the road and everything. So we just canceled it. And it's probably for the better that we canceled it, because that leaderboard was rough. And I don't know if we would have brought you anything of value. So I just wanted to, clear my name, take all responsibility of last week's show, but also show that it wasn't just a dog ate my homework excuse. The dog did, in fact, have stones. But shout out to this guy. What would you call him? Pot Geeter? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, apparently there's all sorts of people all over gambling Twitter that had tickets on this guy, most of whom I've never seen any gambling talk, tickets, or any conversation at all around. But hey, they all knew to bet this guy, so credit to them for the big winner. People that I guess perhaps maybe were betting on golf for the first time found their way into a winner with this guy. So yeah, hats off.
We tip our cap. Yep. 3-man playoff. I would have been hedging. I'm sure they didn't. I'm sure it was a straight up sweat. And we applaud them, and we move on to this week.
Or you could just be a normal person like the rest of us and be like, yeah, I didn't really know much about this guy going into this tournament. But yeah.
No such thing. We're all experts. We are all so knowledgeable. Just a reminder, we are here to entertain and to help give at least some moderate direction that may or may not pay off. So bet responsibly, have fun, and enjoy the show. We are at TPC Deer Run this week. Not long, not short, pretty tour average, par 71 on bent grass greens. Here are your previous winners. 2024 is here, 2025 is here. And again, you can see that these fields are typically watered down, but the scores are very, very, very low. Fairways and greens are the only thing that matter for this course. Hit the short stuff, make the putts, you win the tournament. That's all it's going to be required. You don't need length, and I think a lot of people are going to be on this fella because of his success last week, whether that be DFS or outrights or top 10s or whatever. I don't think this is a course that fits him. So if you want to run him back, go for it. I don't think it's a great idea. But again, do this for fun. Stats, driving accuracy is the most important thing. Putting as well. Driving distance does not matter. Hit greens, make putts. Here is what the model said after 5 trials based on these sort of miniature foci. How do you say that? Focuses.
Focus
Whatever.
points, maybe.
Focus points. And here are the other stats as well. So here's your model summary. And Zach and I had a conversation with the holiday weekend, getting things done around the house. We're gonna try to keep this one condensed. If we go over 40 minutes, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna unplug my mic. Okay, so we got 40 minutes. We're not gonna beat a horse here. This is this is what the model says, guys. It's unique. It's disappointing, maybe to some. It's bizarre. So here's our card. The one thing I will say is, why is Denny McCarthy not on here? I can't tell you. I don't know if it's accuracy, driving accuracy that made him miss some points, but I think Denny McCarthy is worthy of at least cracking the top 20 golfers in this field. So if I have
In
to
this
critique
field,
my own model, it's the fact that a guy of Denny McCarthy's caliber and putting ability on a course which is going to prioritize putting, if he doesn't crack the top 20 some guys I've listed, maybe something's wrong. We already got Rob in the chat. Is this Realtor Rob? Is this Realtor Rob? It maybe changed his name.
might just be Golf Rob.
16-1. Is it not a steal? The model says it's a steal. The model has him by far the strongest golfer in this field. Now, why Carson Young is second? Carson Young is 170-1, guys. Carson Young is not winning this golf tournament. And then you see some names. You see some names. Also, I actually think you could fit all these top 6 guys in a DFS lineup price-wise. I haven't checked, but I want to say you could get these Griffin, Young, Glover, Hubbard, Smalley, and Norlander. It would be very close to fitting.
Wait,
into
why'd you stop at Pearson Cootie?
Isn't it only 6 guys? Don't you need 6 guys in a lineup?
There we go. Fan of the show. Fan of the show, Rob. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Well, there's 2 different Robs that come by the golf stream, so
Yeah.
this is good. It's good to have you, Rob. Chris Kirk also is not a whole Chris Kirk's on here. Tapper Cash. We can have a conversation about Chris Kirk.
I can't do this.
Yeah, golf betting will tilt you. So
although look, that's why this guy right here, that's why I always say outright's not the way to go. If you like people, take top 10s, top 20s. That's why that's my jam. Because you don't get tilted. You like guys to play well. That's the way to go. Now, I think it's fine to sprinkle a little bit on some outrights here and there. But if you want to make your bread and butter is going to be your top 10s, top 20s, because that is where most of the time you're going to be right. Hey, this guy, I feel good about his chances here, because as we know, in order to win a tournament, a lot of things have to go right. You have to play well. You got to rely on maybe some other people to not play out of their mind. And you have to maybe, and like Sam Burns, you have to maybe, hey, hopefully I don't land in the middle of a river in the middle of the fucking fairway and not get any relief. That's another thing that has to happen in your favor. So yeah,
was Chris Kirk was in the playoff, was he not?
I think
this
so,
last weekend.
Yeah.
Kirk, Grazerman, and Pottinger. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's brutal. If you had Sam Burns the week prior, Tommy Fleetwood the week prior, and Chris Kirk last week.
And what have I been saying? What do I say every episode? Top 10 Tommy. That's what he never wins. He doesn't win. He plays great everywhere, never wins. So like,
I don't know what his live odds were, but they had to be in the minus 400s at some point in that tournament. I mean, he looked like I turned it off, to be completely honest. I thought it was over. Anyway, I guess we didn't get to review that because we didn't do last week, but yeah. Right, because that was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Anyway.
We had Travelers and then the Rocket.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a list, and here's what I'll give you as sort of an overview first impression, guys that stand out. Ben Griffin, obviously, he's the favorite to win. It's good to see a favorite at over 15-1 because we're so used to seeing Scotty and Rory and those guys sub 10-1. Lucas Glover, I think, fits well on this course, and I would be interested in his outright at 50-1, I believe it was, for a few bucks. Mark Hubbard has been trending pretty well. I want to say double check, but he might have back-to-back top 10s. Somebody I looked at had back-to-back top 10s. Regardless, Mark Hubbard has been playing well, and I think his price is that of the Lucas Glover range. And then, elsewhere, I do like Denny McCarthy, although he's not on here. And if you want to ride Chris Kirk's hot hand, maybe you go there. But yeah, I think this is a few bucks for fun on some outrights. That's what I'm gonna look
Deep down the
towards.
board too. Like I think we end up at a lot of times there's a lot of first time winners, like guys win their first tournament here. Obviously not a stacked field here by any stretch, but
Right. And some DFS. I think you can.
oh
It's
yeah,
another one of those weeks where you can really have some variety. And I think there are people out there that are just as confused as you are. And so, having to find the cheaper priced guys may give you an advantage over certain people. Griffin top 10, McCarthy top 10, Michael Kim, Knapp, Bub, Cauley top 40 all parlayed is my only lay. Yeah, I saw a lot of people liking Jake Knapp this week.
he's been playing well. He played well last week, I believe. He was in the mix. I will say this is go ahead.
I just was going to say I like Michael Kim's social media presence. I think he's a unique guy who kind of opens the door that's typically closed.
Yeah, so I'm like, is he playing this week or is he like an analyst or like what's going on?
Exactly.
But I enjoy it. He makes good threads about each course, I think.
Yep. Okay, what were you going to say?
No, I was whenever we get kind of into some of the course talk, I was going to say because this is a course that I lived for one summer in Davenport, Iowa, which is one of the 4 quad cities. Moline is where the John Deere headquarters are, which that's where TPC Deere run. That's why this is here in that kind of. But yeah, I've been to this course. I played here.
Wow.
It's yeah.
Is it 18 holes or do they have 27?
Yeah.
18?
Yeah.
So you've played all of these that they're going to play.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I didn't make it look as easy.
Well, that's still.
These
I mean,
guys will.
it would be cool to just.
I will
watch
say
a
at least
tournament and say,
there's
"I
some
played that
water
hole."
here. At least there's going to be some water here, which there wasn't last week.
Right.
You guys were just kind of rolling, but
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I knew some guys that worked for John Deere when I lived out that way, and yeah, it's a nice track. It's a fun track to play if you're not a pro, where you won't feel like you're just getting killed out there. But it's no Bethpage Black or Oakmont, that's for sure.
So it makes sense that guys are going 28 under.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's your general, like your Midwest pasture course, right? Like it's a lot of open fairways, a lot of pretty big greens that, it's guys are going to find the green. It's just kind of like, hey, are you close enough and are you making your putts? Like how close are you to the pin and are you able to kind of sink your
I will tell you that the second most
like you can miss and still end up on the green. It's like, oh, now he's just like 80 feet away.
Yeah. Approach putting is the second most critical stat here. I didn't want to get into, I mean, we can get into all those details if we really need to, but fairways, gained, approach putting. So lag putting is the second most important stat on this course. And it's like one of the top 3 on the tour. So yeah, absolutely. Good analysis, Zach. Way to bring real world lived experience to the show. That's what people want. So what jumps out at you on this messy, gross amateur hour board?
Not a lot.
You can't.
I mean, I'll tell you,
top 20.
I will tell you somebody that I'm want no part of is Sung J M. Like this guy has been a disaster this year. You can look at the advanced stacks, the most in I think I saw he's gained strokes on approach in 2 events all year. And like he plays all of them.
Yeah. And that's not good here.
Right. So I want no part. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Out on M this week. So
I won't argue this time. I typically stand up for him.
If you can find some head-to-heads to maybe fade him, this is perhaps the week to do so. Let's see. I mean, Ben Griffin is the top guy to make top 20. Like Ben Griffin top 20s plus 100. If you're including the ties, like I don't hate that. I'd probably end up going. I mean, this guy's just been on a absolute heater. Been playing well everywhere. It's hard to argue when you look at the field. Like, I mean, he's probably the best golfer in this field, really, if you kind of really boil it down. Feel the best about Ben Griffin there. So don't mind really laying that, if you want to go top 10 plus 200, top 20 plus 100. I don't hate that for Ben Griffin. Siwoo, my guy, has Smoking Siwoo. I don't know.
He's in this field?
Yeah, he is. He is.
Okay.
And I think he's played well here before, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll find it. I mean, this might feel like a Siwoo week.
Yeah, the only problem I think with Siwoo is that he hasn't really been he's been a little wobbly lately. Uneven results from Smoking Siwoo.
84th withdrawal, 42nd, 31, 28. His putting has been
maybe not.
He's lost 3-4 strokes putting his last. Oh wow, he has horrible. No, we're not. We're out on Siwoo.
Yeah, and last week he had a tough Saturday, Sunday at the Rocket. Withdrew at the Travelers. It's just
Siwoo to miss the cut. What are we thinking there? Can we get you to go against your natural?
I wouldn't oppose that.
Are we at plus money with it,
just because things are back off with it seems like let's see. Well, it has to be, I would imagine, because to make the cut, he's pretty expensive. Where's the missed cut? Not really giving me many missed cut options.
Okay.
At least not on DK. I don't
need to get cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see why Denny McCarthy is. I want to see if I can get to the bottom of why.
Aldrich, the potty man, the guy that all of Sharp Twitter seemed to all have tickets on for last week, pretty deep down the board. So people that want to, maybe run it back on the potty man, this is a good time, good price to do so.
I say no.
Look at this. Our guy Buzzy. Hey, Cam Champ. Not a bad shout there, because this definitely feels like we probably get one of the Cams in play here, right? Like,
yeah,
this is like the type of place that like a Cam Champ or a Cam Smith, not Cam Smith, Cam Young would be in the mix for. So
I need to say this about
not that all Cams are created equal, but Cam Champ been playing well, right? Played well at the Travelers.
This is
back from the dead, dare I say.
This is nuts. We may need to scrap this model. Okay.
Where's Jake Knapp?
Yeah. Where's Denny? Denny last year, 7th, year before 6th, year before 6th.
Whoa.
3 straight top 6s, putting exceptionally well here. Tee to green exceptionally well. Strokes gained total, 12 strokes to the field, 9 strokes to the field, 11 strokes to the field his last 3 times here. I might be all over Denny McCarthy this week. I mean, yeah.
I think he's at least probably going into the DFS rotation, right? Because he has shown pretty well here. He's not, I think he's like 4th or 5th expensive guy down the list, so not too pricey. It's shocking to see Jason Day as like the most expensive guy.
Yeah, that's a little bizarre. Is McCarthyism the Red Scare, Cold War? I'm not a history guy, but it might be Red Scare week. Okay, we may be all over McCarthy.
Denny,
because I might be convinced.
The Grand Slam, Denny's, right? Denny's Grand Slam. Let's go. How many euphemisms can we get into this?
Yeah, I think 2 is plenty. 2 is plenty. So here's the deal. I don't have any strong, I will probably have an outright on Lucas Glover. I will probably have an outright sprinkle on Hubbard. I'll probably have one on McCarthy. And outside of that, I may make a few, single entry lineups. So I'm good to move on to DFS because I don't think I have anything of value to really throw out for this. Find guys who can putt, find guys who are accurate. That's who's going to be at the top of the list. If you, have access to data or can look up PGA stats and you're worried about a guy taking him outright, top 10, top 20, if you look and he is struggling either lately or consistently at missing fairways, missing greens, missing putts, forget it. I don't care how far he hits the ball. I don't care how good of a scrambler he is. We're not talking about that this week. It doesn't matter here. There's not going to be a ton of scrambling. As Zach mentioned, the greens are huge. There's going to be a lot of 80-foot putts. So, that's the best advice that I can give you for this. DFS, have you made anything? Have you?
We're workshopping it still.
Okay.
It's still, we can, this is one of those weeks that we kind of cobble it together, I think.
Yeah.
On air almost. I think you've talked me into our guy. I mean, Ben Griffin, I don't know. I feel like maybe just pay up for him, feel pretty safe about him not having a bad time here. What I probably could use some input on is some of the lower end guys.
Yeah, I'm going to throw my
some cheap guys. I need some cheap input here because it's a little harder. It feels a little.
This is my first run. Okay. Glover, Griffin, Hubbard, Mitchell, Putnam.
I think what you want. So anyway, what would you say are the features that you need here? You need to be long. Long is good. I don't know that driving accuracy is particularly important. You just need to be long. It doesn't really matter where. Just be long, and then
the data
if you can
says
be good,
be accurate. The data says length is.
Yeah, but I feel like it's always going to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I guess the thing is, a lot of these guys are
always beneficial. Like being accurate is always beneficial. But like, I don't know. I feel like it's just get as close to the hole as possible, and then in your approach, like, be closest to the pin.
Yeah,
and try, because there aren't many par fives.
I guess what I'll say is this: you don't need to be a long hitter here if your approach play and your putting is good. If you are 180,
right, yeah, because there aren't many par fives.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. Okay, so what did you need? You need some data on
either be really good at putting or like really good at strokes or at approach accuracy. Because if you can just give yourself a lot of like really makeable putts.
Let's do this. I'm going to run a model just based on what do you want? Putting? Give me like a really chunky 2-stat model. Green in regulation, putting. Like, let's just see who some cheap, good putters are. How about that?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Let's go.
I don't hate this. I don't hate this lineup I'm looking at here. I would like to find out a way to get my guy Ben Hill Griffin in there, but.
All right. Running a model with 50% of the weight on strokes gained approach and 50% of the weight on strokes gained putting, Brian Campbell is your number one golfer, and he is $6,400. So if you want somebody who has consistently shown approach and good putting, Brian Campbell, dirt cheap. Next has been Griffin, then Echeverria, then Putnam.
Oh yeah,
McCarthy.
That's right. Campbell's had some tough rounds lately.
Yeah, that is a.
I mean, Echeverria just came off of a finish at the Rocket.
Okay. I think, yeah, I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna make a second one, and So, okay, how bad has he
He's
been?
not that
How
cheap.
bad is bad?
I need cheaper than that.
132nd. Oh boy. Oh, well, he hasn't played. Let's see. U.S. Open. Oh, you're right. Brian Campbell. Whew. It's not pretty.
Yeah, no, it is
But
not.
RBC,
All right, one of these guys is going to have to go.
Truist. If he makes the cut, is he worth the 6,400? Right? I think he can make the cut here. Echeverria, Putnam. Are you trusting Echeverria again?
I mean, I've liked him in past weeks as well, so I don't.
You're right.
hate
He's
it.
pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like consistently mid, which you kind of need that. You need some guys.
Yeah,
like
this
that.
is a consistently mid course. You're right. This is going to cater to those who are consistently mid.
Because like this course isn't going to eat anybody alive.
Correct. Who can score?
Maybe somebody gets hot with the putter.
Right.
Somebody gets hot with the putter. That's who's going to kind of, be able to separate themselves a little bit.
Right. He's a good putter.
Yeah.
Do we dare run Matt Kuchar? Is he like?
I just was clicking on him. I actually just had him pulled up here for my final guy.
It makes me nervous.
I mean, nobody's more consistently mid than Matt Kuchar, but he did just miss the cut last week. Which I don't know. Maybe look, is Matt Kuchar? Are you going to miss two cuts in a row with the Cooch man? Probably not.
He just doesn't have a top 20 this year. It's just like,
what if we went Kuchar and Cooter?
What you mean?
Or who was that? Who was that other guy?
Pearson Cootie.
Yeah, Cootie. Yeah,
a Cootie catcher, a Kuchar catcher, Cootie Kuchar. Yeah, it's like one of those little fortune tellers. Yeah, was that what they are? Is that what people call him, a Cootie catcher?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Your guy Joe Highsmith.
I'm off.
Big
I'm out on Highsmith this week. Campbell, Echeverria, Griffin, McCarthy, Putnam, and here's my thing with Kuchar. When building a DFS lineup, I think the winners this week are going to be able to stack top 10s because of how weak the field is. I don't think Kuchar's a top 10 guy. I don't think he has top 10 potential. So I don't want Kuchar in my lineup because if I want to win and place highly, I need top 10 potential. John, welcome in. Thank you for watching not only a little bit now, but also for later. Thank you for your dedication. John comes around every once in a while to my channel. He's a what do you call it? He's kind of a devil's advocate guy. But he always sticks around. He's not critical. He's just he provides a different perspective often. But he loves the golf stream. So
yeah, fire off your criticisms into the comments and whenever you're watching the replay. Putting together your card tonight. Tell us how stupid we are. Let's see.
Well, the past 2 weeks, he's gotten mad at me in the comments because of things you said that I talk you out of and say, no, don't do that. And they go on and cash. So yeah, I gotta be more reserved there. Who's a top 10?
What about? Do you know who's? What about the big rig? He had a good week
last week. Yeah. Go look at Mark Hubbard.
He's always
go.
Big rig's always shit.
He's not in this field, is he?
I have Hubbard in my. He's played. I know that he's played well here before because there's been a couple times that he, as I referenced before, he's one of the guys that has like needed because I think they switched the schedule around a little bit. So like I don't know that this is quite as important as it used to be. Like this used to be a pretty important event for guys that were on the cusp of losing their tour card. So he was a guy that's kind of like teetered on that line in the past and showed up well here, which, I had said, I think that's sometimes can be a good motivational edge. I had some golf guys on a space last week. I asked about that. He was, to be honest, pretty dismissive of that theory.
Really?
But I'm standing by it. I'm sticking to it. So undeterred. It's something that I have found success with, is guys that kind of need,
maybe,
because it's like, I mean, his point was fair, which is, oh, well, guys, if you're going out there and you're making your way out to the Quad Cities in Iowa, you're not just gonna mail it in. Like, if you're there to try to win in this lower, not elevated field, perhaps. Like, anybody who's there is definitely going to be giving their best effort. Nobody's just there to kind of go through the motions. I said, okay, that's fair, but when you need something, you're going to put in a little extra effort. You're probably putting in a little more studying. You're kind of trying to figure things out before you're going in feeling really good about your chances, and not just kind of, hey, let's just show up and like.
Maybe you had an edge and he didn't want it out there, so he was kind of shushing you.
Well, I think about it as if, like, look, if we're just going out and playing tomorrow, right? If you and I are just going out to the course to play tomorrow, I'm not really putting a whole lot of time into, like, man, let me figure out, if I've never played the course before, like, let me look at the course map. Let me look at the layout. Let me kind of plan things out and like figure out my strategy and where am I, I'm not doing that. I'm just showing up and playing. If I'm playing in a tournament, even if it's a scramble, even if it's something, or I'm playing with some buddies or like people that I've never played with before, whatever. Yeah, it's a little bit more important. Like, it kind of means a little bit more. I'm going to think about it a little bit more. I'm going to put, that doesn't always equate to playing better, but
right.
I don't know.
I'm with
just
you.
The way I think.
I'm with you.
What was it that Yogi Bear said? 50% of the game is 90% mental.
Is that the actual quote?
Yeah. I'm fairly certain, unless I reverse the percentages, but yeah.
Yeah, that I'll go with that.
He says 90. Oh yeah, he says baseball is 90% mental, and the other half is physical.
Yeah, there you go. Man,
the homie.
What are
you
building
on? The homie Homa. What were you saying?
You got anything built? Are you doing any?
Maybe I just do Kuchar. Yeah, so I got Cam Champ.
Oh, you like Cam Champ, huh?
Yeah, I do. I do think I like Cam Champ. I think he's playing well. He's kind of quietly been playing well, and our guy Buzzy is in on him. Plus 300 on a top 20. Do not hate that. Again, just shooting from the hip here. I think he has had success here in the past. Could be completely wrong.
All right, let me look. Cameron Champ. History at the John Deere. Cut 51 cut 11th cut.
All right, so he's got an 11. That's fine. I consider that success.
Okay. What's Kuchar done? I mean, surely he's got some numbers here.
Yeah, the Cooch man.
Oh boy, I just don't think I can force myself to play Matt Kuchar.
You never, but that's why he's great. I like going into the.
This helps me. This helps me. Cut 67, 66, cut 13th, but that was in 2005. So yeah, I'm off on Cooch.
20 years
out on the Cooch. Yeah, we're done with Kuchar.
Right. So I need somebody in that 7K range then. I mean, is it Max Homa?
You need 7K range, or you need 7K?
I mean, I have 7K left for my final person.
So you can't go Sam Ryder because he's 7-1.
Yeah, or the big Haas, Bo Hostler. Davis Riley out. Seamus Power. What's he? Ooh, couple of rough weeks there for Mr. Power.
You need 7,000 exact. Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, I could trim elsewhere, but I'm not really seeing a lot of reason to do so based on what's immediately above. I mean, Victor Perez was a guy I kind of thought about, but
Chandler Phillips.
You love
Probably
this
not.
guy.
Mustache Phillips.
Ooh, I feel like we were on him with the CJ Byron Nelson and finished
There's
15th.
a chance.
He finished 15th there. I think that was the last time we talked about him.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm in. I'm in on Chandler Phillips. So yeah, that's the
Wow.
squad.
That was
That's the
it
squad.
was just that?
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah. So I mean, look, we talked about this course. That's what I don't know. It's go light. That's all I'm saying. Go light on your betting card this week. We got Cam Champ, Echevarria, Ben Griffin, Mark Hubbard, Denny McCarthy, Chandler Phillips. No weaknesses in that lineup.
What about Ben Coles? 65. I need to look at him.
Out.
Because he's jumping up too. I mean, that's cheap.
Hold on.
Oh. He makes the cut. I'll give him that. He makes the cut. No, don't get cute. It's not worth it. Okay.
I'm gonna send this to you. I'm sending you my lineup.
Here, can you test a theory after you send that to me? If you can squeeze all these guys into one lineup, Chandler Phillips, huh?
Yeah, that's fine. I know that I've gone to the Chandler Phillips well before, and I wasn't let down. So I like it. I like the cut of his jib.
All right, let me. Oh wow, that's a nice lineup.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, look at it. It just looks good. It's like, hey, there we go. This is any thought at all for a lineup with our guy Pearson Cootie?
I just made one with him.
Yeah. I mean, we got to, right?
So yeah, I mean,
can't leave him out.
This is Zach's here with a little bit of the red outline for those at home who are interested. I don't really love this one now that I'm looking at it more. You know, it doesn't. I think I prefer.
You don't like the side by side, huh?
I do. I want my other lineup in here, but now it's not showing up. So I don't love this. Kevin Roy. I mean, what are we doing with Kevin Roy? I do think this is a really solid cut making lineup right here that Zach has provided. Yeah, I made one with Pearson Cootie. It looks very similar to the one you just put up. It has Champ. It has Griffin. It has McCarthy. It has Phillips. So instead of Echevarria and Hubbard, it has Norlander and Cootie. Man, Pearson Cootie has 6 top 10s, 14 out of 16 cuts made.
Okay. But look at the events and
they're trash.
Read off the events that he's played in. Because I thought the same thing. I was like, man,
a lot of corn fairy.
I'm like, who is this guy? Has he just been like kind of flying under the radar? And then
yeah, it's Corn Fairy Festival out there.
What about Chris Gotterup?
Oh boy. Okay, Chris Gotterup.
What do we think there?
Christopher Gotterup. Expensive. 26th, 23rd, cut 28th. These results, the results are okay. Cut last year, but a 4th in 2002. Yeah. But expensive. Why is Chris Gotterup $93K? That feels like a misprice.
Or yeah, 9,300. Yeah, because I mean, well, look at there's not much here. There's not a lot of high end guys here. That's why. I mean, it's
Here's what I need to throw out because I want to be on, officially say this out loud. Michael Thorbjornsson is I just need you to hear that name because he is all over. I see him. I think he's expensive. People are talking about him. He's trending fourth with Drew 41, 54, 33, fourth, second this year, a second last year here, 17th the year before that. Clearly likes playing here, gaining strokes, and he's trending well. What is he? The fourth best odds to win it all, I think. So, I don't think you're getting anything sneaky, but I think Michael Thorbjornsson is a name that you might see this weekend. And I want you to be able to say, oh, yeah, Green Means Go and Zach were talking about him, if nothing else. So there you have it. Michael Thorbjornsson. That's my contribution. Let's see if I can get Michael Thorbjornsson.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. Just mention as many names as possible. So then that way, whenever somebody, then we can just be like, hey, look, we mentioned him on the stream. Clip it.
Yep. Man, you are not wrong. I really like this week, and we just do that
like everybody did with the potty man. Everybody, no, I didn't see anybody talking about him before the tournament, but a few days in, everybody had slips. So good for them.
Yep,
good for them.
Man, I think we could really make a lineup. Yeah. Okay, Zach Johnson. This just feels like a Zach Johnson event.
I know. I think we talked about him. We didn't do the stream, but we did. Something came up in our text about him with the Rocket. And I think I brought up the point that he hadn't played in anything since May. Like, did he just take June off, or what was that about?
Yeah.
He played in the Masters and then didn't, almost got GRP's outright to the window. I think he finished top 10.
Okay.
Against all odds, he finished top 10, but
regardless of any of that, which I'm not saying it's not important because I do think it's important. He was gone for an undisclosed reason. It's literally does not tell us why he was, whether that's an injury, whether that's personal stuff. I don't know. TPC DEERE Run. This man has played every event here since 2004. 20 years. How many times do you think he's missed the cut in 20 years? 20 straight years of this event. Listen, Zach Johnson, are you hearing me? We're going to clip this. We're going to put it out there when Zach Johnson finishes top 10 this week. Zach Johnson, 20 years in this event. How many missed cuts? That's a question.
I mean, it can't be probably more than one or two, I would imagine.
20 years? You're like my mom, all right?
I don't know.
I'd say something that I was so shocked about, or guess what I got on this test? So proud of my 92, and she's like 100, and I'm like, no. Now when I say 92, it doesn't sound good.
Well, maybe he made it 15 out of 20, perhaps.
He missed one cut in 2007. So
I said right. One or two. Right. All right.
Yeah,
so there we
go. But then when I say it, it doesn't sound as impressive.
Yeah, but most of the time, I feel like a lot of years he was probably one of the marquee names in this.
Let me tell you about this streak.
But did he make? What's his best? What are his finishes? What's
listen to this. Just listen to this. Oh my goodness, this is absurd. 2012 first, 2013 second. 2014, second. 2015, third. Year before he got first, he got third. In a 7-year span, he went second, 21st, third, first, second, third, 34th, 31st, fifth. Does a guy lose that comfortability on a course? I mean, if you are walking into this tournament knowing,
I think I believe he's local. if I'm not mistaken. Let me look this up.
He
I think
looks like he's from Iowa.
I'm pretty sure he is, and I think he went
He's
to
from
school
Georgia.
around
Well,
there. I
he's
think he went to
currently in
school
Georgia.
around Iowa. I think he has Iowa roots. I'm almost certain of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
I'm playing Zach
Here we
Johnson.
go. Yeah, born in Iowa, born in Iowa City, Iowa. Attended Drake University. So,
Will you Google PGA golfers born in Iowa or lived in Iowa? Or,
double Iowa. The roots there. Drake is in Des Moines. But for the uninitiated, I should say. What did you want me to look up?
I want you to find some more Iowa residents. Zach Johnson, Jack Fleck, Gary Boros, Sean McCartney. None of these guys are current. I want current. Chris Baker, Tyler. I mean, none of these guys. No, okay. Zach Johnson. I'm trying to find some Iowa native.
Troy Merritt, I think.
Okay. Regardless, I'm going to put Zach Johnson.
Tyler
Troy
Merritt was the guy
right.
that I thought was in the mix for a while there, but he's kind of disappeared.
Okay. Zach Johnson's going in a lineup at 6,900 for a guy with this much experience and this.
You
much
mentioned a lot of
old
old results. What's the most recent results that he's had here?
Last year, 26th.
Okay.
35th, 60th, 34th, 37th, 16th, 5th, 34th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, 3rd. And again, he's 6,900. I need him to get top 20.
I was going to say the price. We need a cut. We need a made cut and
right.
Not a lot more than that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're over our 45 minutes. I said I was unplugging my mic. You got anything else? I'm set. I'm settled. I mean, that Zach Johnson discovery was everything I needed. Imagine that we caused him to miss his first cut ever here. I mean, am I that big of a mush?
What's his price to make the cut? I mean, here's the thing. All these make cut prices aren't good, but to make the cut. Wow, he's not it. Hold on.
What? I mean, I'm interested in hearing a top 20, top 40.
Minus 120 to make the cut.
Okay. What's his top 20?
Like, I mean, I'm going to bet that. I'm going to bet him to make the cut. Like, minus 120? That's not like...
Okay, give me top 40.
Top 40. Plus 150. I mean... Okay. What? That any top 40 that's at plus money, I'm usually like,
because if you make the cut, you don't have to do much else.
Yeah, like you don't even have to really play that well to be in the top 40, especially in this. I mean, fucking Quade Cummins is rated ahead of him. Chan Kim, Takumi Kanaya, like Isaiah Salinda, like these are people that are priced ahead of him to finish top 40.
Fair enough.
Even Matt Kuchar, who like I wouldn't bet on Matt Kuchar to make the top 40.
What's his outright?
Who? Zach Johnson?
Yes.
Oh boy. Now we're getting now we're getting. I mean, don't know why hasn't he even been playing? That's all we need to know. 150 to 1 to win. Yeah. I just don't know why he hasn't been playing.
Well, I'll look it up. Undisclosed injury.
Sketch. But here's the thing. Here's the other thing that I'll add. He obviously knows, like he likes this track, right? And like guys, generally they like going home, playing their like back kind of at some of their hometown tracks. And like not only that, the guy hadn't played in a month. He's like, hey, let me get back out there, play in the Rocket to like kind of get my chops back a little bit. Like he's gearing up. He was gearing up for for TPC DEERE run, right?
That's a great point.
Because he wanted to. He didn't. He's like, I can't go out there and miss my first cut at DEERE run.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bet Zach Johnson to win it all.
I'm not going there,
150.
but I'll dabble in some top 40 and some make the cut. I'll get there. I'll get there with ZJ on that one.
Okay. Well, I'm set. I'm good. I feel good. I can wake up tomorrow feeling confident. I'll retweet
And I think,
this
hey,
and I'll
look,
put out
man,
my
next week things start getting fun, right? They start getting fun. We've hit a little bit of a lull here, but after this week, they start getting fun. We get the Scottish Open next week, which is kind of the tune-up to the Open. So it's kind of like the I don't know, the play-in game to the major. In a way, a lot of people like to look at the Scottish results as, hey, if you play well there, sometimes can correlate into success at the Open, the British Open, right? But yeah, then we get the Barracuda, the 3M, Wyndham, St. Jude, BMW, and then the Tour Championship. So yeah, like I said, we kind of hit a little bit of a lull here, but we're ramping back up, getting back into the fun, the teeth of the schedule. We're gonna have some big names coming up in the next couple weeks. Not to be deterred by this, hey, look, not every card can be loaded, thanks to the Live Tour, but we'll be back. We'll be back ready to go. Maybe a little bonus soccer bet. I would take Guatemala plus 1.5 against the United States tonight.
Wow. On the anti-penultimate July 4th, you're taking against the red, white, and blue.
Well, it's July 2nd, but yes, also yes. So
isn't anti-penultimate means 2 away? Come on.
And they don't even have to lose for the bet to win. So that's the good thing. You don't have to root for the U.S. to lose.
You're right. Would you take U.S. money line and that in a parlay? A little reverse correlation, shall we?
You can't do that. Nobody's.
You can. I mean, you
can. You can't take a goal spread and a money line and a parlay. You can't do that.
Yes, you can. Scouts
where?
Probably.
It's impossible. Somewhere. That's like taking.
You can do anything on a same game parlay. No, you can't.
That's like if the Steelers and Ravens played each other and you took the Ravens money line and the Steelers +7. Like, you can't do that.
+6. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, but a lot of times if you do that, it'll actually give you worse odds. Like, even if it does allow it, there's no way to let you.
Look, you can do it. FanDuel +250. U.S. money line, Guatemala +1.5, +250.
I would not advise to do that.
Because they got to win by 1, right?
Yeah, just pick an exacta.
Exactly. Well, let's go see what their to win by exactly 1 is and see if it's better than 250.
Well, I'm not betting it anyway, but go ahead. Humor me.
I gotta try to. I don't dabble in soccer as much, so like an exact win margin may be kind of tricky to find. But I'll try to do it. Come on, Zach. You know that you know you can do anything with the same game parlay.
I don't do a lot of same game parlays, to be honest.
That's probably a good
like
thing.
I don't really. From time to time, I'll mess around with them, like adding some things into the bet because I like, I just like to kind of see how things, hey, look, what if I add this in? And like oftentimes you end up like, it's crazy how they rob you sometimes where like you'll actually get worse odds by adding something in.
Well, yeah. Yeah, the correlation.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be worse.
Atrocious.
If you want to give it to me at the same price, like whatever, it sucks. But like what?
I know.
Make it worse. That's just
trust me. Yeah, FanDuel loves to do that. I mean, that's their thing. They love nothing more than to. Like I've done Caitlin Clark points and Caitlin Clark threes, and it's worse than the points. It comes out worse than the points. I'm really trying to find this win margin.
Well, that's not. I
What do
don't
you
want
margin?
to get. I don't
US
want us
by
to get
1
too
goal?
distracted here because the play was, yeah,
1.5.
Guatemala
Guatemala plus 1.5.
Yeah.